Forbes Books presents Sustainable Leadership and Disruptive Growth with David Radlow. Transformation for a new and better world. Here's David.
Welcome back to the second part of my talk with Bob Goehrke, the CEO and co-founder of International Products Group, one of the fastest growing companies in the U.S. and manufacturer of world-class natural and organic beauty products. Bob, do you see an alignment between sustainability, disruption, taking care of the community, the environment, growth, and profitability?
There's a lot packed in there, Dave, but yes, I do. And I often tell my team, I love the beauty business. Everyone's a beauty junkie, but whether we're making beauty products, baby diapers, microchips, automobiles, what we're doing is adding value to society. We are part of a value chain. And as I tell the team, as Tish tells the team, we have a lot of people who rely on us, not just the IPG employees. We have people with our vendor partners who rely on our business. We have retailers who rely on us to get the products to them and their end consumer. I often say, we're not in the beauty business, we're in the cash flow business. And as long as we're generating cash flow, that allows us to reinvest that wealth, that revenue, that income to people. Tish and I, by the way, we live, as you know, we live a very modest lifestyle. I'm looking out the window at my 2008 bright yellow Dodge Ram. And for us, we just, on a weekend, if we could go snowshoeing up in the mountains or enjoy the kind of the fruits of our labor in our home. It's very important for us that we've touched dozens of people who've been working with IPG, as well as hundreds of people through our network by generating business. And that's really what we do best. We drive business, we provide world-class customer service, we provide innovation and business development, and that in turn, it's like this tsunami of, if it starts at IPG with a great innovative idea and we bring that out to the marketplace, it's amazing at how many different companies can benefit from that. And we bring people in. We tend to use the same vendor partners for, in some cases, 15 years, and we're very loyal. A lot of it is done on handshakes, kind of more old school, and share the wealth. How much do you need, right? So if we can bring people along with our success, that's our legacy.
Bob, you touched on a little earlier on some of the personal struggles that you've gone through and how it's changed you. Has it changed you in a way where both personally and as far as giving back is concerned, how has it changed you? How do you look at things, should I say, perhaps just a little different based upon the fact that you've gone through the personal struggles that you have?
Yeah, and again, for the record, a couple of near-death experiences. I laugh more out of relief, but the Cleveland Clinic, as an example, when I went through my cancer and then open heart surgery, twice they saved me. And I think had I been, 30 years ago, or maybe at a hospital not quite as skilled in what I specifically had, it could have gone a different way. So use that as an example. The clinic, I have made a personal pledge. Nothing that will get a building named after me, but certainly enough that it helps against cancer research. I also, as importantly, because I think you have to back up the check that one writes with some sweat equity, I write every year in their Velosano. In fact, I hit you up for a donation this year, which raises money. I ride 50 miles. And again, having been through a couple of close calls and the knee replacements and other things, the fact that at 64, I'm riding 50 miles in July heat on my recumbent bicycle, I feel like I'm 35 or 40. I give all credit to the clinic and to my doctors and my surgeons. In fact, the 5-year pledge I made was in honor, and I named the 5 or 6 doctors who specifically, in my mind, certainly, saved my life, kept me healthy. But you got to get involved. I coached, as you might remember, I coached hockey in high school 20 years ago, high school hockey rather, and they went through a tough time financially. And this past few years, I've gotten re-involved again, flying back and forth to Cleveland to be in meetings and helped out a little with a check, a modest check, and but more importantly, gave my time and leadership with the school board to get this program back up and running. So to me, it has to be a combination of not only writing the check, but walking the walk and putting that sweat equity into it.
Well, that's quite impressive, Bob. It's you've lived a tremendous life, and you've been very, very successful, and fortunately, the community and the world has benefited from your success and enthusiasm, and as well as some of the things that you brought synergistically with Tish, your partner.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear, we do it not because we're ever looking for acknowledgement. We do it because it's the right thing to do. And certainly as you get into the second half of life, or the back nine, as they say, it's important to give back. And the most important thing we do, Tish and I will mentor many young people, as many as 10, a dozen a year. We give internships, we spend time, we help with resumes, with LinkedIn profiles. We work a lot with West Point graduates, where my stepson, as you know, Marcus played football back in the day, and a lot of his friends and their friends hear about and they call up, and people we hardly know will say, "Hey, can you help me with my resume?" You chunk out an hour or two out of a busy day or a week, and you give back to these young people. And, in some cases now, 20 years later, people that we help with this small things like resumes or recommendations or job searches, we have decade-long friendships, but it's the right thing to do to give to that generation behind you. Just as I'm blessed that I had people who now are probably long retired, who were very helpful, to me when I was a somewhat confused, long-haired, young business person with not any clue what I was doing at 21 years old, who was working in the New York City beauty scene. So you just, you pay it forward or pay it back. You help people out.
Well, that's quite impressive. Bob, why are you so successful, and why can you hit it out of the park?
Well, success is a state of mind. And first and foremost, I was blessed with two parents who came off the boat from Europe, Sicily, and Germany. You met them, Dave, at a board meeting, and you were so kind to them. And they taught me work ethic. At the end of the day, it's all about hard work. But I think as you go forward, my dad used to tell me, love what you do and you never work a day in your life. I've always loved what I do because it's been very people-centric. The beauty industry, you have to be a people person. I was probably would have been cut out to be a surgeon or a investment banker. It's just the way my brain is wired. I happened to fall into exactly the right industry and work with the type of people. Fast forward to IPG, we just have a blast all day long. And if you're going to have fun what you're doing and be enthusiastic, you got to wake up every morning and jump out of bed and say, I'm going to get to work and add value and teach things to my young team members and have fun and ideally make money. The other thing my dad would say is, if you're going to work, you might as well make some money. And we're blessed that none of us are missing a meal, right? We put food on the table, and we share what we make with those around us, and life is pretty good.
Always humble, always gracious, and always with a purpose. We can learn something from Bob Goehrke. Thank you, Bob. We really appreciate you joining us.
Brother Dave, it's always anything for you, you know that, and thank you very much for including me.
To connect with David, go to davidradlow.com. David's book, Principles of Cartel Disruption, Accelerate and Maximize Performance, is now available wherever books are sold. This has been Sustainable Leadership and Disruptive Growth with David Radlow, a presentation of Forbes Books.